Hey guys, Brett here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2019. Here we are for another episode of our Rags2Riches John Deere series at Mercury Farms. So I did go and pick up our cultivator off camera, and I also changed the price to $3,800, which is 0.76 times 5,000. It's $3,800. And it also, every time we leave and load back in, it sort of gives us a lot of other jobs as well, which is pretty cool. But we'll jump in our John Deere 4440 power shift and head down and start cultivating this field. This is probably the last job we're going to get done today, I would say. It is getting quite late. 3:11 in the afternoon, so by the time this job is done, it'll be time for bed. So let's head left. As you can see, the tractor looks a little bit... U-turn. Tractor looks a little bit different. I spoke to the store owner, whose name is Noah, by the way. I found out his name was Noah. And he said he had the 2 spare wheels for the 4440 sitting out the back, and he'd found them, and if we wanted to, he could fit them for us if we bring it up. It will cost us a couple of thousand, he said, to get them fitted, just because of the time and all that sort of stuff, making sure everything fits properly and everything. So it costs us a couple of grand, but we now have the dual rear tyres. So I don't know if it'll give us any more pulling power, but it certainly looks pretty cool. Alright, so let's start cultivating. Might take us a little while to get this done, but we should get it done reasonably easily. This tractor should pull along fairly well, and we're sort of missing a little bit. Sort of need to keep that left, or in between the 2 left rear wheels, on the edge of the field, edge of where we have cultivated. Make sure we actually get everything cultivated properly. Or we can just keep the front left wheel on the same sort of path, and then we'll be fine. So we've still got 4,000 in the bank. I haven't paid any money off our loan as yet, so we're going to get hit with a hefty sort of fee at the end of the day. But yeah, I think it's still going to be worthwhile getting that loan to get those jobs done. It's allowed us to be able to purchase this cultivator and move on to other jobs. So our chickens are still happy, still doing okay, not producing too many eggs at the moment. It will take a little while, but I guess overnight and into the early hours of the morning is when we'll notice that they've produced a lot of eggs. It's usually when they lay their eggs of overnight, early hours in the morning. So every morning we'll head on over and check on our chickens and empty them out and throw our cartons into that pallet right next door, and we'll build it up a little bit and then go and sell them. I think the eggs are worth a fair bit, but they're yeah, we need at least 1,000 litres or 1,000 eggs before we even decide to go and that was a bit slow, before we even decide to go and sell them. There we go. Make it worthwhile. Our trip's got to be worthwhile. But I also have worked out that truck that we've got, the F-150. It's a beautiful truck, but we can't strap anything down in the back. So if we do happen to take the eggs in the back, we need to drive reasonably carefully and try not to break anything. Try not to break any eggs. It's the last thing we need. The more eggs we break, the less money we're going to make. Alright, so we need to do the same thing here, sort of keep the right wheels, I guess. The right wheel right on the edge of the crop. That'll give us like a perfect line for our cultivator to follow. So I really hope you guys have been enjoying this series so far. I know it's similar to our other Rags2Riches series at Lipinki, but I sort of thought that series was going pretty well, and you guys seem to really like that idea. And it's certainly a series that I've enjoyed doing. our Rags2Riches series over at the Pinky. So well, why not have another one going, but having one going with the John Deere tractor. So another run up. As I said, it's going to take us a fair while to get this done. This will be the only job we get done today, this episode. Then I'll have to skip through to the next day and see what they have available. Certainly plenty of people around that need some help. Now that all these other farmers have left town, it's only us left behind now. Everyone else has decided to just bail. Absolutely bail and get out of the area. They weren't interested in staying at all. But they missed a little bit there. Must have something to do with part of the field might be a little bit rough there. A couple of little spots I've missed on that run, so I'll have to touch them up afterwards. But yeah, so as I said, there's a lot of people around that need a little bit of help. They usually had, obviously the original Mercury farms in the middle there, they used to pretty much do everything around here. They didn't own a lot of the land, they owned a fair bit, sort of in the middle of the area of Mercury, but they sort of made a lot of their money doing what I'm doing now, like contract work, working for other people that actually just own the land. I believe they also leased the land off people as well, so they didn't own it, but they leased the land for a certain amount each month, and then they could plant whatever they wanted to plant, harvest whatever they wanted to harvest, as long as they didn't make any modifications to the size of the field or go placing down anything that they couldn't remove later on. So yeah, they were a pretty integral part of Mercury Farms area. So we're probably a third of the way through the field now. Just a matter of trying to find things to talk about now. You guys don't get too bored. Haven't had any phone calls from Rebecca or Noah this afternoon with any new equipment that's came in, so he's still got us on speed dial at the moment, just to let us know when anything special sort of comes in. I told him we are on the lookout for a harvester in the future, and he said he does know of one, the one that we looked at earlier on. He said he knows of one in the area that's not being used at the moment. It's not in Mercury Farms itself, it's in a nearby like area, another suburb away, another county away. So he said he knows of one and he can get it for us, and obviously we know the price of it already, and he obviously won't pay as much as we will. He will get it at a good price because he knows the guy, and then we'll buy it from him, and hopefully it'll be what we need when we actually get our own field. We sort of need to have a look around and see what fields are available and what's worth buying. I think one of these guys close to home would sort of be the way to go. I also, on the way back from picking up our cultivator, I stopped into the local store and got our food and that sort of stuff that we needed to get through the night in the next couple of days. And I asked him about who owned the horse field here, the horse training area, and they told me that essentially nobody owns it anymore. It's all just sitting there from the people that packed up before. There was a horse ranch where we brought our little field, little block of dirt up there was an old horse ranch, so that's where they lived and had their stables and that sort of thing up there. And when they decided to move, like all the other farmers have, they've taken all that with them and left that little area behind because it's too hard to pack up. They'll have to dig up all those poles that are in the ground and that sort of stuff, and it's just easier for them to rebuild somewhere else instead of trying to dig those up and reuse them. So she said it's open for anybody to use. There's no real owner of that area anymore. It's just, pretty much government owned now. They left and nobody was interested in buying it, so they just left it to the local government and took off, and it moved on to another area. So when the time comes, if we ever do happen to get horses, that's where we can go. Well, that's where we can send our hired helper, I guess, our horse helper. He can head over there and run them around, train them up a little bit, get them more valuable for us, then we can sell them on, of course. So we are over halfway through the field now. Hasn't taken quite as long as I thought. I would like a bigger cultivator, but sort of didn't have a great deal of money at the time, and this was sort of the best thing with the money we had and the power that we've got. We don't have a massive amount of power in this guy. So the long-term plan, of course, for us is to improve upon our tractor. So get a more modern John Deere tractor with a bit more horsepower in it that we could use for some bigger equipment. Obviously we're going to buy our own sort of piece of land first, but before we buy our own piece of land, we're going to need to buy a harvester. As I said, we're going to need to buy a seeder. We're going to need to buy a trailer to unload the harvester. Plus, we're going to need to buy a lime spreader, or even hire a lime spreader from the shop. He did tell me the other day that he does have some things available for hire, but not a lot of stuff. And a lime spreader is one of those things that he has available because not many people actually buy them. A lot of people use them, but they don't use them, you know, every single time they harvest. So they're not as common to be brought by anybody. So he can make a fair bit of money out of actually leasing it to people, including us. As far as other items go that he said he had for lease, I didn't really take much notice, to be honest, because I'm trying not to lease anything, but that was certainly one of the things he told me that did stand out, that I knew we were going to need early on once we got our own little bit of land. So he knows that we're certainly interested in leasing it, and we'll be in contact when we do actually need to lease it. So I'd say we've only got another 3 or 4 more runs here and then we'll be finished. There's a few spots we've missed with a bit of rough ground, and also just me missing, like those bits to the right there. There we go, got it that time. But done a pretty good job here. Hopefully the owner of the field will be pretty happy. So once I've got this job done, we'll head back to the farm, of course. I might take a quick look at our tablet, bring up the local land sales, and see what's available and for what prices. Sort of need to work out what sort of money we're going to need to aim for to get things done. So I don't know, I really don't know if $3,800 is really enough for the job we've done here. As I said, our going rate is $5,000 per hectare for any sort of field work as far as seeding and cultivating and ploughing goes. So it's worked out to be $3,800, but in the future our price may go up a little bit depending on how we go, and once we prove ourselves in the area, as I said, our worth will probably go up a little bit. Reputation will increase, our self-worth and all that sort of stuff will increase, and we'll be able to charge a little bit more money to get jobs done. Obviously our going rate for fertilising is $2,000 per hectare. And our going rate for harvesting is $10,000 per hectare, depending on what it is. If it's something like potatoes or possibly cotton, it'll be a lot more expensive than that. We really don't have anything to harvest cotton with at the moment anyway, so that's certainly not a job that we're even going to look at anytime soon. And as far as potatoes and sugar beets and all that sort of stuff go, we don't really have anything available to harvest those guys either, so can't really work out a price and charge anybody anything at the moment. We don't have anything to use. Even harvesting, we don't have a harvester yet, so as much as we can let people know what our price will be, we certainly can't charge until we have a harvester to use to be able to charge people. Right, so this will be our last run. Hasn't taken us too long to get it done. This last little run done, and then that'll be enough. So lift you up and fold you up at the same time. Quickly pull up and jump on online and let them know that our job is completed. So as I said, there's plenty of other jobs going. So that's about our going rate for that sort of thing. Our harvesting 0.32 hectares, that's certainly not our going rate. We certainly want a bit more money than that. So harvesting 1.47 hectares, we certainly will be charging more than that. We'll be charging probably $20,000 per hectare, I would think, for that sort of thing. Fertilizing field 42, fertilizing field 2, fertilizing field 30. So that's usually our going rate. That's not too bad. I think we certainly have to charge a minimum amount per job. I think maybe, you know, $2,000 per job as a minimum amount would be more than okay, even for the likes of fertilizing fields. Even if it's not 2 hectares, I mean, we've still got to make it worth getting out of bed for. If someone's only got a 0.25 hectare field and it's $500 to fertilize, it's really not worth us going and doing it, is it? Like, it's, I know money is money, but it certainly doesn't seem like a lot of money to me. But see, there's the area, as I said. All those poles there are all cemented in, and inside there they're all cemented into the ground, so that's what makes it so hard for them to sort of come through and pick the things up and that sort of thing. Right, so what I want to actually do is I want to turn around here. I want to grab a quick screenshot. So I've been forgetting to sort of take a majority of our screenshots. So there we go. I'll jump on in and back this guy up. I said I think that's all we're going to get done today. It's 4:30 in the afternoon, and we want to be home and have dinner and be in bed reasonably early, so we can get up at, say, 7 o'clock tomorrow and get on with a new day. So it's probably going to be a short episode, I guess. Drop this guy down. I don't want to cultivate, but I want to drop it off. So if you guys enjoyed this one, as always, smash that like button, leave a comment if you like, and if you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, guys, please do so. It's been Brito, thanks for watching. See you again soon.